Hello, Gemini. I hope you guys are well. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Venus rising. This is a reading for mid-June. We're looking at the 20th to the 26th of June. So I'm just trying to get this camera to focus just a little better. Okay, is that better? Yes, that looks much better for me. Okay. So this is just, I'm not reading reversals, Gemini. So this is just a 3-card reading, past, present, future. And we're looking at what is going on in your space. So first card that came up is a death card, also the Capricorn card. Some of you could have Capricorn in your chart or a Capricorn around you. But please don't get perturbed by this card. You know, this is about change. We're talking about change that is deep down change, that is change to the core of you, change, you know. It's about your value system, about who you are as a person. We see that we have the Chariot. You could have a Cancer person in your space with this Chariot energy. It's also about choices as well, you know, and also not be allowing yourself to be, with this change that's coming, not allowing yourself to be too egotistical. And we've got the Star, you know, you've got like 3 major cards that are up here. So this is quite an intense time. And this is also Aquarius energy. So you've got Aquarius energy, Cancer, and Capricorn energy. So you could have these signs in your chart. You could have these people in your space as well. This is actually quite an intense reading here. You see that, you know, some of you could have just in this recent past been going through a lot of changes, Gemini. Some of you may feel the need to take a bit of time out. You need to reflect. You need to think about what's going on. Where is it that you need to go to? What is it that you need to do? You know, there's quiet contemplation required of you, Gemini. We see that you may also, you know, need to think about decisions that you make as you move forward. But you also have a situation where there are things rushing towards you, where there are things where decisions have to be made immediately. You need to take some time out to create this balance, you know, as long as your foundations are good and you know where you stand, Gemini. That is what is the most important, is like knowing what your foundations are and moving towards your truth. We see that some of you may be even thinking of purchasing a car. It could be that some of you thinking of traveling, you know, definitely something to do with movement, maybe even taking a holiday or taking a trip somewhere, Gemini. We see there's a little bit of, you know, happiness that's around for you. There's this joy, there's this, you know, spending time with family, with friends, you know, having this really great time. But we also see that you need to be, which is your central card, 7 of Swords. There's this awareness that, you know, some of you could be having to deal with some dishonesty in your space. You could be dealing with somebody who hasn't been clear with you about things, somebody who's not upfront, somebody who's a bit sly. You may be dealing with that. You may be having to also deal with somebody who's undermining your confidence, you know, so be aware of these things. You know, you have this King of Wands energy, so it's a lovely energy for me. It's like, it's about love and having passion and, you know, drawing upon this knowledge that you have and having the ideas of how it is that you need to handle situations. And you've got 2 kings in this reading, which is, you know, about cooperation, friends. You know, you've got the King of Wands and the King of Cups. So this generally is fire energy. So we're looking at Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy here, Gemini. We're looking at Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy as well. Well, it's also very much a case that you are in the space where you're needing to be very loving towards yourself, very kind towards yourself. You know, there's a lot of generosity, you know, where you need to decide, you know, am I just going to worry about myself? Am I going to worry about others? You know, it's almost as though, you know, that story of the 2 wolves inside of a person. So which one do you feed? And you're finding yourself in the situation that even in your own growth, in your own self, Gemini, if you don't love yourself enough and care enough about yourself, you are going to allow yourself to fall by the wayside. Many of you could be expecting to hear a lot more news coming through, these new ideas, this new information. Some of you could be looking at making some changes. It's very important that you double check your information that's going out. Make sure that there's no omissions. Check your digital platforms, check your emails, double check, what's going out. Check what's going on with you, in a work situation, some of you should also be very mindful of somebody wanting to take the glory for the work that you've done. So that could very well be happening for some of you out there. It's very important that you keep yourself rooted, but also be aware of the changes that is happening around you, Gemini. This is actually a very interesting time for you in your life. There's a lot. Some of you coming through your birthday season, and there's just like a lot that you've had to take in with a lot that is happening in your life, Gemini. Let's see here. Six of Pentacles again here. I've had Six of Pentacles twice. So it's definitely a time of you being aware. You've got King of Pentacles here again twice. That's come up. So you really do need to be a very good steward of yourself. Knight of Swords twice as well. You could be having this energetic bohemian person rushing towards you. King of Wands twice as well. Nine of Wands. So Hierophant, dealing with the Taurus energy here. So generosity. Thinking about being more generous than what you have been. You may be thinking about this, with this changes. Some of you could be having children in your space, or, just thinking about lessons from the past, situations in the past that have happened. Some of you could be dealing with this person that's rushing towards you. It could be somebody from the past that's coming into your present. It could be somebody with this fire energy of fire in their chart. You could very well be having this in your space, Gemini. We see that things are already underway. There's already information coming back and forth towards you. And just this change that's rushing towards you. You have this change that's rushing towards you. And just needing to have your ducks in a row, know exactly what's happening for yourself, and being stable and calm. Regardless of whatever's happening, you cannot allow your ego to dominate your decisions that needs to be made. You need to be calm and reasonable. You need to know that you've learned a lot of lessons. You have moved forward. You have, you've defeated the worst situations. You've got a lot of wisdom that you bring to the table. You need to draw upon this wisdom, Gemini. We see you planning towards the future, and plan towards the future for yourself in a loving way. Plan with care and consideration. Some of you could be having to deal with, a few love interests, wishes coming true with the love department. Some of you need to make some choices. There's a lot of celebrations coming your way. Some of you have two people that are really interested in you, and, you've got to think, or you could even have more. I mean, if you look at this. Some of you just, spoiled for choice at the moment, Gemini. There's just a lot of people that are around you, but you need to be very discerning. And with this Hierophant card coming up, take some time out from the hustle and bustle of people and things. And, even as you're receiving all this news and this attention, just take a moment, Gemini, to step back, to think about what it is that you need, and, focus on yourself in that regard. Don't get so caught up with doing things to make everybody else happy and then neglecting yourself in the process. Some of you may be feeling that, your back's against the wall, you're feeling a bit defensive, but you need to know that there's always a way out. You just need to look at the choices that you have on hand for yourself. You need to look at the fact that, this first card coming up, Seven of Wands, you're not stuck, your back is not against the wall. There's options for you. You can literally leave the doors open. You can take that. Life is about choices. We may, if you see this card, whatever decision you make, it's going to be the right decision for you, and you are going to be exactly where it is that you need to be. So as you're receiving all this information, filter this information, decide for yourself, but also try not to create the stress and the sleepless nights and worrying too much about things. Some of you could be worry-warts, and you just love worrying about everything. And there's no need to be constantly worrying about things, Just accept certain things for the way that they are. Some of you could just give yourself a lot of anxiety. Some of you, especially if you have a strong feminine energy, you could be having the strong masculine energy coming towards you, where you're so confused. You could have two love interests your way, and you're so confused. You don't know what to do because this, It's keeping you up at night. You don't want to make the same mistakes. You don't want to be betrayed. You don't want to seem, the word like a fool comes to mind. Some of you don't want to be seen, making the same mistake again. And unfortunately, sometimes we learn by taking a chance. Life is about choices. You have these choices. Some of you, somebody from the past coming into your present, you have a choice to make. Do you want to give them a second chance? You may have chosen this person before and you may have felt very left out in a situation, left out in the relationship. But were you really left out? Because I see that you may have felt, left out. But the question is, did you not include yourself? Because there was a lot of help, assistance. There was a lot of, things that could happen. But could you have been so caught up with yourself that you did not, become part of the relationship? You see, you needing to change the way you view things and learning more to celebrate life. And what is also very important for you, Gemini, is don't get caught up in gossip. Don't get caught up in what other people are saying to you. Don't get caught up in what other people think should be happening. And also don't get caught up in how other people are telling you things should be. You need to make some decisions for yourself. And don't listen to gossip about others or what somebody else's experiences about somebody. You've got to make your own decisions. One man's pleasure could be another man's pain, vice versa, So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your stuff, take care. Make up your own mind. Don't be foolish. Be calm. Take a moment to think, to reflect, and don't rush headlong into anything. Even though things are rushing towards you, take a pause and think very carefully of where you want the situation to go to. So Gemini, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and please share the videos if you did enjoy this reading. Thank you very much and see you soon.